All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, chat. What's going on? What's going on, everyone? Let me duplicate this. Let's go here. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go to Instagram. All right, chat. Oops. What's going on? What's going on, everyone? Let me duplicate this. Let's go here. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's open the chat. Instagram. All right, chat. Oops. Chat's open. Fire. Cool. We have this. Let's move this here, and I'll move this over there. Chat's open. Fire. All right. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. We have this. Move this here. I'll move this. Now, for anyone that is watching this YouTube live replay in the future, I'm going to be quiet for a second because I'm eating and nobody's in the chat just yet. But people will start to trickle in here in just a second. Now, for anyone that is watching this YouTube live replay in the future, I'm going to be quiet for a second because I'm eating and nobody's in the chat just yet. But people will start to trickle in here in just a second. All right. What's going on, everyone? What's up, Tiago? Today I am, oh, actually, if Tiago, if you want to hop on a Google Meet, I know you wanted to do some content research for Noah. And another guy that I'm thinking of. Let me get that going. I'll let you take the way too, because I'm gonna eat. For Noah. And another guy that I'm thinking of. Let me. If anyone else is in the chat right now, just give me a second. I'll let you take the creating a Google Meet right now, in case Tiago, if you're available to hop in. I know you want to do some research, some content research, and I'll let you lead the way here. If anyone else is in the chat right now, just give me a second. Hey, Valentina, how are you? Great to see you again. Meet right now. I am eating a little bit right now, so I'm not going to talk too much. I know you want to do some research, some content research, and I'll let you lead the way here. Anyone else is in the chat right now, just give me a second. Hey, Valentina, how are you? Great to see you again. I am eating a little bit right now, so I'm not going to talk too much. You want to do some research? What's going on, Tiago?
Oh, shoot. Wait. There you go. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. What's going on, Tiago?
Oh, shoot. Wait. There you go. Can you hear me? Wait, I'm not sure if I'm listening to you or to the line. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you say that one more time?
Yep, we can hear you. What's up, Valentina? What's up, Jesse? Oh, you're on vacation. That's awesome. Where are you at on vacation? Doing well. Myself, I'm eating right now. I'm going to let Tiago take the reins. I know, Tiago, you wanted to... sorry to put you on the spot here. But
no, that's fine. All right. Give me just a minute, but yeah, I have stuff to share.
Yeah, I know you had some stuff to share.
Well, yeah, I think that I made some headway with the series. So I do have some ideas, and if we have people in the chat, we may be able to brainstorm, validate some of those, and see if if they would be interested in learning more about some of these stories, right?
Okay. Do we want to do the do we want to do some research for Noah and the UFC guy first?
Oh yeah.
You're in Greece? Holy cow, that's awesome. Where in Greece are you at? That's super cool, Valentina. Jesse, how are you doing today? I know last time you joined, you were on the plane, I think. Where are you traveling to these days? Also, Tiago, I'm gonna be pretty timely on this live today too. So at 4 o'clock,
Yeah.
I end this. So I have some content that I need to film. So I don't know if we'll be able to do the content research on these guys and the series. Let's just prioritize the content research thing first.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you that because since we're planning to send this to these creators, I feel like it would be best if you run point of them. I can help you with feedback, if that makes sense. And yeah, I feel like that this is a priority. Let me know if you can see my screen. I'm sharing right now.
Hi Tanny, thanks for joining the live. Right now we are about to do some content research for a couple folks who have reached out to us in the DMs, wanted some help on their page. So we're gonna do a quick analysis here. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I can see your screen. Okay, Tiago.
All right. Just gonna have the live here. Just make sure that. Got it. So I'm not sure who is in the chat, but for people that joined yesterday, I made a few changes to the table. So I was able to make it, I'm not sure if more concise. I feel like I added more stuff, but it represents better the elements of each of these successful series, right? Yesterday I was kind of all over the place, and after like a long discussion with Claude, I was able to find the most important parts of a series, which is what I'm going to run by you first, because I'm not sure if I did that. I did remove some stuff that I think that are super advanced and I haven't seen being applied. So I tried to make it like the MVP structure that it seems that all successful series are following, right? So as you can see, the premise has been removed because the premise is just putting together the goal, right? And the stakes or deadline, like that's basically the premise. So it's like, I'm trying to put as little information as possible. And then I added the hook so that we can see what is the, what are the elements that they are highlighting, right? What is it that they give the most importance to? I haven't gone through all of the hooks because this was the last change, right? But it's actually really interesting because the one about the girl that is going to recap all of the MCU movies before Avengers Doomsday, she doesn't lead with that. She leads with Avengers Doomsday comes out in 200 days, right? So I don't know, what else do we have? The guy that owes the IRS $6,000, he doesn't lead with, I'm going to start a window cleaning business. He just says, he introduces himself. So, hey, my name is Justin, I'm 19. And yesterday I just found out that I owe the IRS $6,000, right? So that's the reason why I put the hook. I realized that it was one of the most important elements of all of these successful series. Then the goal is what yesterday I made the mistake of calling it like the problem. And the goal is more like the the whole reason why. Like, why do we care in the first place? This is the so what of the story. This is basically that urge or that feeling that the main character has to basically take action, right? This is what drives our character. So we have this one right here. This guy wants to propose to his girlfriend. Then we have the guy that wants to, or not that he wants to, but that he needs to pay up the IRS. I don't know. Let me see if there's another one. Well, and the one about the MCU, we have the girl that is trying to recap every single MCU movie before a certain deadline. The deadline didn't change. It's here. The tangible goal still in here. And here's where it gets a little bit more complicated. So, because the stakes is the one that is the hardest to explain in simple words. And I feel like the best way to describe it is what happens if the character can't achieve the goal, right? What if the character fails? What happens then, right? And with that, we have a couple of things to keep in mind. The first one is that it can be explicit or that it can be implicit. And what do I mean by this is that we have the guy that could face jail time. This guy doesn't say this. So in this case, this one is implicit. It is implied that you don't pay the IRS, you'll face jail time, or at least that you will pay, like a hefty penalty payment. But he doesn't say it. He just says, I just need to get this money and pay the IRS. And he talks as if it's urgent. And you start to understand what happens if he doesn't do that, right? But it's different from someone who explicitly says, I can't afford to propose to my girlfriend, so today is day one of door dashing for a diamond ring. Okay, now we understand with this one that if he can't reach his goal of buying the ring, then he can't afford to propose to his girlfriend. So the stake here is explicit. He literally is telling us, this is what can go wrong if I don't achieve my goal, right? So I hope that was clear, the difference. So one is articulating or actually saying what could go wrong. The other one is implied. And then I added the stakes type, which it doesn't really matter. We mostly have personal or we have mission. And I'm going to explain that in just a second. We do have some that don't have stakes at all. Like we have this girl right here. I'm just gonna show the preview real quick. She is just taking a random topic and basically yapping about the topic, right? She's going to do that for 30 days. What could go wrong? Nothing. Like the world is not going to end if she fails to yap about a certain topic. It's there are no stakes in this, right? So there are some series that are pretty successful. This one is one that got 56,000 likes. I can remember in terms of views, it was a lot. But of course, those are the three main cases. So personal stakes, no stakes at all, or the mission stakes, which usually mission comes with personal as well. So the main difference between personal and mission, I feel like the best one is the one that wanted to disrupt the music industry, right? So this is a guy in his 20s that wants to disrupt one of the hardest industries to get into, right? It's like you can feel the pain already. It's like he's trying to basically change the world, right? All by himself, and even in his 20s. It's like a David versus Goliath kind of story. And so this has two sides of what could happen if, like, what could go wrong or what happens if he fails. So the personal stakes is that he's in his 20s and he might waste his early 20s just by doing this, right? He doesn't say it, but he says, I'm 21. So just by saying that, he's implying I'm just I could be wasting years of my life pursuing, something impossible. And then we have the mission stake, which is if he fails to disrupt the music industry, then we have artists and people in the music industry that are going to be stuck without a solution, right? To keep things even more simple, you're going to see that most of these are personal, and the ones that are personal are the ones that hit harder, are the ones that are basically driving the most engagement, is people with relationship issues, financial issues, health complications. So it's stuff that is affecting them personally. It's not stuff that is like trying to solve, I don't know, like a problem of a community, right? So if we keep moving to the right, the episode's plot, I feel like I don't know how I nailed this one. It was it like Claude just gave me the same word. It gave me the word vehicle, which is what is the character using to basically achieve that goal. So the guy that owed money to the IRS is going to start a window cleaning business. So that's his vehicle. The girl that is recapping movies, she's just doing movies recap or movie recaps, right? It's very self-explanatory. The guy that wanted a diamond ring, he is door dashing. That's what he's doing. That's his vehicle, right? And if we move to the right, we have the obstacle. So now it becomes more clear. We don't have a problem and an obstacle. We have the goal, and then we have obstacles, right? And these could be multiple. So we have, let's see, the girl with the MCU movies. The obstacle is that there's too many movies. Like it's way too many. And she even says it in the series. She says, I know you don't have the time. I don't have the time. She says something like that. So she's acknowledging that it's a nearly impossible task to accomplish. So that's the obstacle that makes us want to root for her, right? And then what else do we have? Well, the guy that wants to start a window cleaning company to pay up the IRS, he doesn't have any sales experience. And it's implied that window cleaning is like it takes a lot of sales, right? It's not that you're going to open or start an Instagram page. You have to start knocking on doors, and like that's the first thing that you think about when you have a kid trying to make money window cleaning, and so on. Like you could have, I'm trying to find one that has more. Well, the guy that wanted to get into the music industry, like that one has a ton of obstacles. So he has zero experience in the music industry. He has zero experience in the startup world as well. He is getting into a heavily gate-capped industry. He's getting into an oversaturated industry. He's getting into a fiercely competitive and blah, blah, blah. Very concentrated one. So it's not that you need or that you have one obstacle, you can have many, right? The thing is that you need to find a way that you don't add like 20 obstacles, because at some point you lose track of what's actually going on, right? And the last thing that I added was the views. And this is just so that I could basically sort them by the ones that were the most successful, the ones that were the least successful, and then trying to understand, okay, why the bottom half, which are, I did it the opposite way. It's in the ascending order. So why did the bottom half perform better than the other half, right? So I could change the colors to make it more visual. But the idea of having the views is so that we can sort them and see, okay, this one did extremely good, like way better than the rest of them. What elements does it have? Or maybe the other way around, like this one didn't do as well. What elements is it missing, right? And if I take one of these, like we have this guy ranking every single neighborhood in San Francisco. It's a really good one, by the way. It's a realtor. but of course he has no stakes. So I can see why he only hit 100,000 views. Maybe if he said that, I don't know, if he added some stakes to it or some obstacles, I'm not sure what it could be. Maybe it could be something about him struggling to be a realtor and trying to do this to get exposure for his business, maybe to add some personal side to it. Maybe that could help. Maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. But that's something to consider, right? Um, so far, I'm not sure if in the chat there's any questions, or you, Sean, if you have any questions about this.
No, try to go through as much as you can. Um, yeah, I don't want to spend the entire live. Like I was thinking about doing the content research with Noah and the UFC fighter, but I don't know if I'm actually gonna get to it. So just try to get through as much as you can about what you've learned, and then yeah, I mean if Valentine has any questions, but we'll just try to keep this super concise. I don't have all the time in the world.
No, do you think we should do the other thing tomorrow?
The content research.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably.
that's
Let,
fine, by the way.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, let's do that tomorrow. Yeah, just keep going.
Yeah, and by the way, I would only want to do it for 15, 20 minutes each so that they are watchable.
Okay.
So, yeah, we can definitely do that tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm almost there, by the way, because now I only have the ideas that we had and see if we have, or if we are checking all of the boxes, if we have the main elements that are needed for a viral series idea, right? So the last one that I made, I have the script here. I'm gonna send it, and I'm going to ask Claude to just return the elements. Can you return the elements of this series idea? So we have the goal would be to put the team back together and build a sustainable personal brand business. Tangible goal, I'm not sure if we have one. Going live for a day, yeah, that doesn't count. Deadline, we don't have a tangible goal or a deadline, which is fine. Some of them really don't. Stakes type is personal. I'm not sure why it would be mission as well. Oh yeah, there's a mission as well. I'm going to explain that in just a second. And now let's see the stakes. So we have 3 stakes for this one. Some of these are implied, which is good. The problem is when you start explaining multiple. At that point, it can be like way too much for the person watching. Like there's too many variables. Like it's a complicated story. In this case, let me see how many we actually have. So we have 3 stakes. The first one is so it would be Josh. I'm not sure how to word this, by the way. I put the first thing that came up to my mind, and I'm not sure if we can share all of this, but it would be talking about Josh's incident 2 years ago while building the media agency. Then you would have the other one, which is yours, like your stakes, you being forced to take a 9 to 5 after spending all of your savings. That was last year. And then the mission one, which I hate that it's putting it like this. But the stake number 3 would be basically the idea of having all of the journey documented on the come up, like you say, right? And so the thing is that if you fail, then this is not for you. This is for other people, right? Like you're doing it so that we have some sort of documentation of all of this, like some sort of blueprint of how to build a successful personal brand and a business around it. So the stake 3 is a mission stake because it's not personal. It's about all of the content creation community that is interested in learning how to actually do this, right? So let me just see here. So those are the stakes here, and this is actually explicit as well. At least in my draft script that I made. So the episode's plot is going to be going live every day. So daily lives, sharing everything about building personal brand in real time. And we can also say that we're sharing wins, lows, brainstorming with other people live, all of that, right? So I'm just going to put it here. But the vehicle is basically going live, right? And I think I might say daily lives. I would say go live, sharing everything. Yeah, I feel like that sounds better. So what are the obstacles? So 4 years failure combined, burning out, breaking even. I'm not sure if all of this is accurate, by the way. Savings gone, that could be team physically and financially broken. This is a better one, not an expert, the other one. We don't have things figured out. This is in the script, so this is an obstacle as well. Let me see. Savings gone, really broken even. This doesn't make. Oh, I feel like we can leave. Yeah, we can leave it like that. Power words. I'm not sure if I added anything. Well, yeah, we do have falling apart, rock bottom, burned out, physically impaired, forced, come up. That's fine. Yeah, I'll put it for now. So the idea is that I downloaded this sheet and I just sent it to Claude. I basically uploaded a PDF and I just asked, and I gave Claude like some of our ideas that we have for this viral series that we want to do. And they started telling me, yeah, your stakes are kind of weak. You don't have a deadline. You don't have this. You don't have that. You need to take a look at this. And I started to script basically working with that, like trying to go after the weak points. And that's how I came up with that script that I made right here, which we can review later. It doesn't matter. But what actually matters is that we have these elements right here. And that these elements together combined, they tell a story, right? And they don't just tell a story, but they also start a journey, right? Because that's what the series is. You need to kickstart something that people want to go back to. Like they want to see, okay, are these guys going to be able to get to work together again? Are these guys able to document their whole journey on how to actually do all of this, right? And now the question is whether you like the idea, whether people would like the idea, and from there just keep doing tweaks at the elements, because it's mostly about the idea. We do have the viral script structures. We can just take any of the videos that we have from here that we feel like it best matches what we want to talk about, and then not to fill in the blanks, but do something more like this one right here. This is Jesse's story that I have. And so,
Valentina, thank you so much for staying around. No worries if you gotta go. Totally fine. Thanks again. All right, continue.
And so here I just broke down the script and I have it like in sections. Like first section, she did this. Second section, she did that. So then we can basically do the same. So we can, in the first part, she calls out her her ideal follower profile and stated series premise. So we can just go back to the elements from that idea that I had and just put it in here without basically copying the actually word by word structure, right? So then she gives some context, and then she talks about the stakes, so we can go back here and do that, and so on. Like, I feel like this is a much cleaner way to, how do you put it, to create that viral script. But yeah, that's the idea. You basically have the Lego bricks that apply to series. You just have to come up with your own each time.
Mm-hmm.
And you go after a script that looks similar to your story and just follow a process like this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, what are any thoughts so far?
Let's ask the chat, because I'm. Let's go, guys. Reception here. Sorry, hold on.
Who do we got?
Yeah, let's ask the chat, because my brain is mush today.
Nice.
So who do we got here? We got Jack. Jack, are you in here? Faisal, are you in here? We have 2 people in the chat. We could ask them. Let's see. Jack and Faisal, if you guys are in here, let me know. Send me a leave a comment in the chat. Just say here. We'll ask you guys a question here. Appreciate you guys for being in here, by the way. Okay, Jack's in here. What's up, Jack? Thanks for sticking around, man. So Tiago, do you want to give like a? We'll ask Jack today. There's just Jack and the 2 of us here in the live. If you want to give Jack like a brief summary of what you're talking about, and then if we want to ask him, his thoughts.
Yeah, I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like the summary would be if he would be interested in watching a series of our story, and basically what we're going to be sharing is like why our team is kind of broken, why, like, who is Josh, like our filmmaker, like why he isn't able to work with us, what happened with, or what happens after, right after we lost most of our savings to try to build this business, and what we're trying to do now. And lastly, about going live, like having all of these updates of our journey building a personal brand.
So it seems like there's a couple things. There's like trying to build a personal brand, also trying to recover from like a failing business venture, right? So what's the goal with the series here, just for Jack, because this is Jack's first time here in the live, so like,
yeah,
Jack, let me know in the chat too how you came across us, how long you've seen our content. I don't even know this, since this is Jack's first time in the live. I'm not sure how familiar he is with us, so
yeah,
assuming let's just pretend like Jack, this is his first time ever interacting with us. Like, let's say he was just scrolling reels and he came across one of my videos and he saw I was going live. I'm assuming maybe that's what could have happened. Is there a way where we can explain this simply to him?
Yeah, I feel like the simplest explanation is that we're a team of 3. We lost most of our savings. Josh got physically hurt.
Jack said he was just scrolling reels and came across.
That's cool.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. But so I say that for you, Tiago, just because we're gonna need to give Jack some context here.
Yeah, but that's basically it. So you and Josh tried building this media agency in the past. Josh got injured, he got sick, and then you and I tried going digital, right? We both put a lot of money from our savings to trying to do that. It didn't work. So we're still trying to figure this out, and we decided to build a personal brand, and we're going live to basically share the behind the scenes, share everything that we're learning. We're not keeping anything. And so the goals would be to put the team back together. That would be Josh, you and I, and to build a sustainable personal brand. And so the series are going to be all episodes of us going live while we share the progress trying to make that happen.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that was clear or.
Jack, was that clear to you? Let me. This is actually a good litmus test because I don't think Jack knows us at all. So let's just see what Jack has to say. I won't give any input here. And
That is
just
good
just
chance.
just for small context, Jack, what we've been doing for the past couple days is we're studying viral series content online, and we're trying to figure out the patterns from these viral series and recreate one for ourselves. And so what Tiago just explained to you was the overall plot of our series. So let us know in the chat if that makes sense, what Tiago was saying, if you have questions. Again, this is a good litmus test. I don't think Jack knows us at all. I appreciate you being in this live, though.
Yeah, that would be a really good test because I know that it's kind of like a lot, so we would need to give enough context without over explaining as well, so that it doesn't, that we don't lose traction either. I feel like that's something else with stories, that ours might be like very unique and it can go both ways. Because I'm thinking Jessie having a kid, and when she says that, you just immediately understand like what are the stakes behind it. Okay, Jack, yeah, let me start over. So here's the idea for this series that we're putting together, right? It's a new series idea that we have. And so the idea is to give some context and some background about our story. And then the idea of the series is to also document basically our day-to-day on how we're going to build a successful personal brand, right? The story is that the team is made up of 3 people, Sean, Josh, and I. Sean and Josh tried building a media company in the past. Josh got sick because of it. They both burned out. And so Sean and I tried to take things digitally, so trying to work from home. We both burned through our savings trying to do that. We failed again. So we have a long history of failures. And the idea right now is to, okay, let's just go live while we try to figure this out. And let's just start documenting the whole thing because we're confident that we can turn this thing around. I think that was better this time.
Let's see.
Hopefully.
I'll reserve my input until Jack comments.
And it's totally fine if it wasn't clear, Jack, like that. That would be even more helpful for us. And what I was saying about Jessie, real quick, was that again, like it can go both ways when you have very unique details to your story, because now you can't just summarize things with, I just had a baby. You have to give more context and it can get more complicated.
Jack
So,
says,
Jack,
which
yeah.
formats are you going to start with? Day 1 or day 2?
Right.
What do you think, Tiago?
So that's a good one. That's a good question, because he's saying day 1 of, and then you would have the deadline. And in our case, I wish I knew when we're going to make it, but unfortunately we don't. So for now, it's gonna be like day 1 and be like, I don't want to say infinite, but at some point we should be able to get the team together, and that should be the end of the series.
Jack, do you have any other questions? Because I do. I have questions around this concept. So I'd love to hear any other thoughts or feedbacks before I give my questions. What patterns are you finding with this type of content so far?
If you're referring to series in general, I feel like the main pattern that I'm seeing with winners is that, and that's a really good question, by the way, is that creators are going, um, what is it called? Like they are allowing themselves to be vulnerable and oversharing. And I realized that all of that, because you're going to hear that a lot. Like if you follow Mino Lee or Jun Yu, they are all going to be talking about that, Jesse Jean as well. And I realized that when they're saying that, it's not just to overshare for the sake of oversharing, but it's more so in terms of the stakes, like what could go wrong, what did go wrong as well. So it's either, so basically what could go wrong is in the future and what did go wrong is in the past. But I feel like that's the main pattern that I'm seeing here. And of course that the premise is simple, which in our case, it's not.
Yeah, that's where a lot of my questions stem
But
from, is around the premise. But we have 5 people in here now, so we have 1J, Jalil, and Jack. So we could, before, again, I'm trying to reserve as much of my questions until the very end so we can get really
yeah,
strong signals here. So, Tiago, for the people that just joined, Jalil, 1J, what's up, 1J? Thanks for joining, man. So 1J already understands the idea of what we're doing here with the series, but if you want to give the context around the series idea that you have for our page,
yeah.
yeah, if you want to just give it one more time, 60-second overview for the new joiners here on the live.
Yeah, so Jack asked about the patterns, and I feel like it's again those two. For 1J, I feel like it's the premise is basic and simple, and two is that the stakes are usually very raw and personal. That's why the idea that I had, I think that I am getting the second part, but I'm failing on the simple part. The series idea that I have for our page is kind of like an origin story where we explain where are we coming from and where are we going. Where are we coming from? We come from multiple failures. Sean and Josh failing at building a media company, you and me failing at building a digital company. And now, what are we trying to do differently? We're going live every day, sharing all of our wins and losses, building this personal brand, right? So, what are the stakes? We have one of our team members getting sick from getting burned out, you being forced back to a 9 to 5 after spending all of your savings. And then there's another stake, which is people are going, if we fail, we're not going to be able to document all of this journey to getting successful. So people are going to miss out on this blueprint. So that's the main idea of the series. And then the vehicle, right? Like what are the episodes going to be about? We're going to be highlighting what happens during these lives, right? If we have a breakthrough during this life, that could be an episode. Like today we figured out X, right? Hopefully that makes more sense.
Jack says, I've got to go, but would be good to connect. Send me a DM. We'll definitely do so, Jack. Thanks for stopping in on the live.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
I'll leave the question to 1J now. 1J, does what Tiago just, or did what Tiago just say make sense to you? And what are your thoughts around it? No aging allowed. Thanks for joining on the live. I don't know if you joined and just left, but if you are here, thank you. We might need your participation here in the next few minutes. Okay. I'm not seeing too many other comments. I think 1J's probably still typing. I will share my thoughts just because we're approaching the end of the live here, and I want to make sure I can wrap up on time. I still got to figure out what to film here today. So here are my thoughts around it, and then I'll wait for 1J, his input. So the good news with everyone in the chat is that you were able to repeat the premise a few times. Each time I was like listening to it, trying to understand the idea. I personally have trouble connecting the dots between all the failures and then building the personal brand. I don't see the correlation there where we're talking about like we lost. I like the idea of oversharing all of our failures. I do like that a lot. I want to share a ton about how much money we've lost, how much lessons we've learned, etc. But I don't see how the personal brand is the solution. And I also think the idea of going live, although I do want to have a series around going live, it just seems as though the idea of the series for me is it's hard for me to wrap my head around overall.
What do you mean?
It's hard. Like there's just too many components. Like there's all of our failures. Josh and I failed a media agency, then we went digital, then we decided we're going to go live every single day to document everything we learn of building a personal brand. And I don't understand how the going live, documenting what we learn, and building a personal brand is the solution to all the past failures. That's where I'm having the hard time connecting the dots. Let me see what 1J says. 1J says, totally makes sense, especially the stakes part and where you're headed. Only thing I might lean towards on more is making sure where you're going is also relatable. Yeah. Okay.
That's good insight. Yeah.
So just up to you to consider. I mean, so far you have two people saying I think that it makes sense. And then, I have a differing viewpoint because I notice people seem to love series when they see themselves more in the avatar, thus resonating with the struggle. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's the part that I do like about what you're sharing, Tiago, is sharing about all the failures. Like, I'd love to even say something like, I'm 25, my life fell apart. That kind of thing. Like, I think the more I can relate to people that aren't successful, the better. I just have a hard time piecing together the dots because all the failures and all the money that we've spent is related to building a business, but building a personal brand isn't necessarily building a business.
It is. Like a personal brand is a type of business.
Yeah, but I'm just saying for the general audience, like, I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm just one guy, but like, it doesn't register for me.
So if you don't, like, not you, but if someone doesn't connect the dots between a personal brand and a business, it's someone that is not in our ideal follower profile. It might be someone that it's thinking about Mr. Beast and that they want to become Mr. Beast, but guess what? Even Mr. Beast is a business, but if they cannot connect those dots, they are not going to be in the ideal follower profile either. It's going to be like people way too young.
What I'm saying is it seems like there's two things that we're trying to do at once. Like, what I don't understand is, are we building a business in public or are we building a personal brand in public? Those to me, even though like you're saying they are the same, those to me are two very different actions. Like if I was building a brand, I'd be making a lot of content. If I was building a business, yes, of course, content is definitely a good form to get clients, but there's also like the building of the product, the fulfillment, the sales, the et cetera, et cetera. So it just, to me, I'm confused on the general direction. But
so
1J, let us know what you think.
I have one example here, just because I feel like there's one change that I would make, but before I get into it, we do have here this one. The guy that is about to become a father, This one was really successful, like 90,000 likes. And it's episode 4 because episode 1 through 3 are really bad. So he's gonna have a child in 2 months, and his series is called Posting Daily Until It Becomes a New Source of Income to Provide for My Family. And the connection here, it makes even less sense because it's like it's not even personal brand, it's like posting daily, right? Like there's people posting that aren't really brands. Like I have friends that they just post every day, but they're not trying to make money.
Mm-hmm.
And still people here connected the dots. The one thing that I do feel that it might be confusing, and if 1J is in here, I like his insight. I see that he left a comment. I feel if you approach from Caleb's point of view of everyone having a personal brand, something you're known for, you would find people would not see brand and business as wildly different.
Okay.
So this I do see wildly different. Like posting daily until it becomes a new source of income. I had to I remember rewatching this because I was trying to figure out what he was trying to do. Until later in the video, he says that he wants to get into content creation, right? But the question that I have for 1J, if he's in here, this is the one that I feel like it would make the series easier to follow, which is, again, you can see this by the stakes type, and is that none of them have the mission. None of the successful ones. So if we just remove the documentation of the whole thing and we just focused on we failed miserably, this is where we're going, this is where we're trying now, I feel like that's going to be way more clear. And I feel like we're not removing any of the the parts that, like 1J says, that are the most relatable parts of this story, at least. I'm not sure what you think while 1J replies.
What's the question for 1J? And then 1J, thanks for joining in. We're gonna be wrapping up the live here in just a second. But
You'll be removing the third stake and just leaving the personal ones, just so that it's more, so that we keep it relatable, but we keep it more simple as well. So instead of having stake 1, 2, which by the way, stake 1 isn't really a stake. I need to rewrite this, but moving the stakes from being a mission stake, like we need to document things so that people can have the blueprint, and just focus on we can't afford to fail miserably again.
Yeah. Let's just keep it to the personal dilemma.
But I feel like that would keep it simple. And I do understand that concern about the personal brand. I do believe that happens with younger audiences. So that's why this guy here, I can't afford to propose to my girlfriend. That's why this one got to 15 million views, because this one just talks to everyone.
Right.
In our case, I feel like it would be better than Jessie here, because Jessie, again, and we can talk about this at some other point, I feel like she's missing a few things, but she still was able to get a third of a million views, right?
Right.
And I feel like the main thing with her is that she takes way too long to get to the stakes, like the reason why it matters.
Yeah, I like the personal approach. I think that's totally good. Like how Jesse Jean frames things. I think that's all solid.
Yeah, I feel like removing the mission for now. I feel like the mission, we can explain it during the lives, or we can even say it on an episode 2, right? Like it could be the content of another one, but the basic idea, like the raw idea, could be we can't afford to fail again. I feel like that could be it.
Yeah.
And going live, basically, just so you know, I have somewhere the line that it says going live until we figure it out. So basically, doing two things at the same time, saying we're not experts, and two, that that's what we're doing here, trying to build a profitable personal brand.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can even say that, like we could add the word profitable at some point, and I feel like that's going to make connected dots to everyone. I feel like that could even attract like younger audiences, because if they see that word or if they see that approach, they're like, oh shoot, I can make money with this, right? Because there's a ton of kids that have no clue.
Right.
So that could um fix that problem there. And I don't feel like we should add a deadline here. Tangible goal, I don't know, but not a deadline.
All right. Well, 1J, if you have any closing thoughts, let's wrap this up here. I got a lot that I got to get done here. Yeah, 1J, if you have any other comments or anything, feel free to leave it. We'll respond, and then we'll talk tomorrow. I think the stakes are a major part, as they promise a payoff worth watching till the end. I feel we're focusing more on the stakes, but series are built on stakes and mini payoff as it progresses.
Well, let me read that again. I think the stakes are a major part, as they promise a payoff. Right. Right. I feel like I'm not sure if this is what 1J is referring to, but I feel like if we open a wound big enough, or that we share one, we could like share some of these wins, closing it slowly until we until we put like a bow to it, like closing it out at the end at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking now, like this is something else that we should think about. I know that we need to end the live now, but we could even add like a deadline, because I most of the ones about women like starting over, they say I'm giving myself X days, like 365.
Mm-hmm.
If we're planning to do this long term, and we don't want to add like a tangible goal, like either monetary or followers, I feel like it's more personal as well. Like when you add like some sort of monetary value, it can be deemed as, oh, he's in it for the money. Except for this guy, like the diamond ring, like that's genius. But
Yeah, I need to rewatch Jessie Jean's video on how she does it, because she was able to clearly say that she's trying to make money online, and yet nobody came after her. Like nobody calls her out.
She doesn't have,
which is pretty interesting.
At least on that series, she has no tangible goal and no deadline.
Maybe that's a good reference point then.
She just adds. She has the only weird type of stake where she explains both sides of the equation. Like she says,
that might be a better path for us to follow, because she's been able to, like, she's the one that I really want to study when I get back to this story stuff, because she's such an anomaly. I mean, she's selling courses, and this is no jab on her, for anyone that's in the live, like 1J, no jab on Jessie Jean, but like she is obviously figured out a way to do something that's generally perceived as bad to the general public, but she's framed it in a different light by telling her story, and nobody bats an eye. So that's something that I definitely want to study. Shout out to her. That's really cool.
We also have Petrokieva, I think it's called. The one that you've been sending me lately.
Yeah, Alex. Yeah, Alex is great. Both of them have. both of them have been able to figure out a way where they have like they can just tell their audience. I mean, Jessie Jean even posted today. She was like, the goal from day one has always been to make money on this page, and yet the audience is like super thrilled with that. So that she's the one that I really want to study how she words things. It seems like that's very important. And if she didn't have a goal on day one, then maybe we shouldn't have a goal either.
Let me see.
Both of them, like it's truly a master class. Again, for anyone that's, I mean, it's just 1J in here now, but anyone that's in the live that does join, there's no dig on any creator.
I'll look it up later. That's fine. I wanted to find the video that I watched from her, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to find it now. But that's okay. Do you need to?
Yeah, we gotta hop off.
All right.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Everyone, thanks for another great live. We will be back tomorrow. And until next time, guys, see you around.